Okay, so moving on to week 2. The matchups for week 2 are myself, yours truly, versus the camera boy here, Austin. It's going to be a very interesting matchup. Let's take a look. We've also got Lewis, Lex Swagger, going against Robert. That's going to be interesting. Robert, you desperately need to win, so you're going to have to try to smack talk the Skywalker there. Deidre going up against Joaquin to another rookie combination there. So we'll see how that works out. And then you've got Casey versus Evelyn, and Angie versus Joe, and the new guy versus the new girl. So we've got Ralph going against Anita. Both winless teams trying to get their first W of the season. Let's take a look at some of these matchups. So we've got good old classic quarterback battle. We're Big Ben against Andrew Luck, Lacey versus Bernard, Latavius Murray versus White. We've got some good matchups here. I think it's going to boil down to the flex spots. Otherwise, things are looking pretty tight. Projection-wise, 127 to 111, but he's got an empty roster slot here, so it all depends on who's in his slot there, and we'll see what happens. Taking a look at Lex and Robert, it's a very interesting matchup. Projections have him in the lead at 134 points versus 127. Very close. We all know how projections are. Can't really trust them. But yeah, you got Carr versus Palmer. Some very good running back situations there. It looks like Robert's favored in the wide receiver position with Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Stephon Diggs. But Lewis is considerably favored on the running back position with Forte, Ingram, and Gurney. And Greg Olsen versus Gates. Gates tired, beat up, wrecked. And Olsen is pretty much the number 2 option on that team next to Calvin Benjamin. Taking a look at Joaquin and Deidre. We've got another very interesting matchup here. It looks like Joaquin's heavily favored in the projections with Cam Newton going against San Francisco, C.J. Anderson tearing it up, Spencer Ware. So there was a lot of players that Joaquin had on his bench last week that I'm pretty sure he's going to take a look at this week and make sure that he has his lineup, well rostered. Here on Deidre's side, we've got good old favorites Russell Wilson going against the hapless Rams. And then we've got some players here. Gronk is in the lineup. I'm not sure that he's playing, so you might want to take a look at that. Melvin Gordon tore it up the other day, so this should be an interesting matchup. You never know what happens. Evelyn versus Casey. Now here we got a very, very interesting one here. Casey so far is favored by 138 to 126. But again, you've got the prototypical quarterbacks going against each other. Breeze versus Stafford. Those guys will cancel each other out. And some very interesting plays here. You've got the 2 New York Giants on the receiving end. They're going against New Orleans, so that should be a very high-scoring affair. And then, Casey's got an overall strong team. AJ Green, however, with Pittsburgh, we'll see how all that shakes out. And Jordan Matthews going against Chicago, of course. So should be some very high-scoring affairs. Again, very close in the projections, so it should be a very, very interesting game. Angie versus Joe. This is predicted to be a dogfight. We're looking at 125 versus 125. You got Aaron Rodgers, Angie, which is the lifeblood of the league, and Jordy Nelson with the combo, Edelman, some oldies but goodies there. Jason Witten, Vincent Jackson, Woodhead and Sproles. We'll see how that lineup changes throughout the week. And then Joe's looking for his first W, so. We've got Theo Riddick, who had a very good game last week. Hopefully, Demaryius Thomas can bounce back. T.Y. Hilton and Allen Robinson. Very good team. It looks like there's a prime opportunity for Joe to get his first win of the season. last but not least, we've got Ralph versus Anita. Again, Ralph looks like you're projected to get your first win of the season. 133 to 121 on the projections. But again, this is not the lineup that's going to be in play on Sunday, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, Eli Manning, David Johnson will have the opportunity to come out, like you declared. Ezekiel Elliott didn't have a very good game last week, but he couldn't against Washington, so I think that'll be his breakout game. Macklin, of course, Shepard had a good run there. Charles Sims did some damage. And then on Anita's side there, Blake Bortles had a very, very good game as predicted. Adrian Peterson is not going to get 3-4 points again, so he's going to perform. Doug Martin should have another strong performance. Don't know what happened with John Brown. He had a big fat donut last week. I don't even know if he played. But Cobb, Jeffrey, and Allen, all good players. So take a look at your lineup, see how it goes, and we'll see how these matchups shake out come Sunday.